Hello everybody and welcome to the Friday practice review for the 2020 Sakhir Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton may be out of COVID, but still, George Russell in his car has absolutely swept the board. It's the 2020 Sakhir Grand Prix. We remain at the Bahrain International Circuit though, on the outer loop. Lewis Hamilton has won 11 times this year, but he will not take part in this weekend's Grand Prix due to the COVID-19 pandemic and him catching the virus, which means we could be looking at a fifth different winner in 2020. In terms of the Drivers' Championship, Hamilton, luckily, is already the champion. 332 points, is that how much it's going to be his total this year? Valtteri Bottas has held off second place away from Max Verstappen. However, that gap could close down in this weekend and next in Abu Dhabi. Daniel Ricciardo is in the fight for fourth place, just 2 points clear of Sergio Perez, who himself is 2 clear of Charles Leclerc after an impressive race last time out. Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz battling for supremacy at McLaren after a double points finish last time, followed by Alexander Albon now in 9th and Pierre Gasly now in 10th. The fight for 4 increasing to 6 drivers. Lance Stroll remains in 11th place on 59 points. Esteban Ocon is on 42. Vettel 13th on 33 points. Dani Kvyat, Nico Hülkenberg, Kimi Räikkönen, Antonio Giovinazzi, Romain Grosjean not racing this weekend for obvious reasons, Kevin Magnussen, Nicholas Latifi, and George Russell, now driving for Mercedes, stands his first ever chance of scoring a World Championship point. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes have already wrapped that up. 533 points to Red Bull's 274. It's really the battle for third. McLaren, with a fantastic result last weekend, has propelled them into third place, way ahead of Racing Point, and Renault are playing catch-up. Ferrari now out of the game for third. AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, 7th and 8th. Haas, and there's still no points on the board for Williams, although Russell might get some from Mercedes. It's the 2020 Sakhir Grand Prix, and this is your Friday practice review. It's a unique circuit, the Bahrain Outer Circuit here in Sakhir. It is a 54-second lap time, the quickest in Formula One history, and boy, is it delivering the excitement required. Let's take a look on board with a combined lap attack of 2010 and 2020. Let's take a look around the Bahrain International Circuit Outer Loop, the first time we've ever used this configuration. Starting on the F1 2020 game on the new normal track, hurtle down the usual start-finish straight towards turn 1. A heavy braking zone after a long DRS detection point. From mid-gear, late braking down into second gear, about 70 miles an hour. Accelerate and compromise the exit at turn 2 to get a good run out of turn 3. Pay respects to Romain Grosjean in his horrific accident. How he managed to get out of that, we don't know. Now, let's switch back to the 2010 game on the old circuit that we used to use. Uphill, past now the tricky outer loop section into the chicane. It's bumpy, it's been resurfaced in parts, but the braking zone for the chicane is almost invisible. Hurtle out now, full speed. Ignore the barrier, flash back to 2020, and you're down the back straightaway, out of what is now turn 9, and down towards turn 10, 11. The last 2 corners on the track, another DRS zone, hard on the brakes, full power once again. It is an incredibly short lap, around 55 seconds, but still, it's going to be a very chaotic Grand Prix. Let's get into the first practice report then, and it is a complete surprise. George Russell, in his very first session for Mercedes, tops the timesheets and takes his first ever top of the session board. As well, Max Verstappen was second fastest, Alexander Albon third, Valtteri Bottas finished fourth, 0.3 off of Russell's time. Major psychological blow for him. And then add into the factor as well that we can see Dani Kvyat in fifth place as well. Great job for AlphaTauri. In the absence of Lewis Hamilton, self-isolating, thankfully mild symptoms, but tragic he's caught the COVID-19 virus. It's all down to George Russell in his very first session for Formula One's Mercedes team. He has topped the board. 18 months with Williams, 1 session with Mercedes. He is top dog. Fantastic going forward. Going out then, Russell's lap 0.332 faster than Bottas as well. That's a psychological blow as well. Red Bull occupied 2-3. Verstappen a tenth off the pace of Russell. Albon 2.5. But he had a very high speed off at turn 2. And it was a little bit of a damage on the car. Danny Kvyat was under half a second off of Russell, but fastest overall inside the top 10 and the top 5 as well. Renaults and Ferraris lined up behind. Ocon 7th, Ricciardo 9th, Vettel was 8th on Leclerc 10th over the board as well. Ferrari looking for more this time out on a circuit that might not suit them with the high drag of the car and top high speeds constantly. McLaren looking to go well, but they were absent for the top 10 FP1. Now, having finished 4th and 5th last time out, getting that massive point-scoring points against Racing Point, who were pointless last time out in Bahrain. This weekend looks to be the complete opposite, with Racing Point delivering. Between the McLarens, Alfa Romeo, Raikkonen 14th, Giovinazzi 15th. It was Sainz 13th with Norris in 16th place. Grosjean, who's out of this weekend for obvious reasons. Hopefully he's going to be back next time out in Abu Dhabi. But Pietro Fittipaldi taking his spot. He was 19th. And Jack Aitken was last, but a lot to do for him tomorrow. And Kevin Magnussen was 17th as well. Aitken down in 16th as well on the board. An interesting session, loads of spins early on as well as drivers got used to the new circuit, and unusually here, practice 1 and practice 3, which are usually in the day, are all in the night. So every single session here in Shakir is a night race and is a night session. So it's fantastic to get times on the board. So, but all sessions representative. It's hard to get that through your mind, but every session does count, and it looks like George Russell has pace, especially going by FP1. Let's take a look at the full times then for the first session. So George Russell tops the first practice session on 54.546. Max Verstappen is second, 54.722. Alexander Albon third, 54.811. Valtteri Bottas in fourth place at 54.868. Danny Kvyat fifth at 55.011. Pierre Gasly is 6th, 55.166. Esteban Ocon is 7th at 55.273. Sebastian Vettel is 8th at 55.281. Daniel Ricciardo is 9th at 55.379. And Charles Leclerc rounds out the top 10 at 55.449. Lance Stroll is 11th at 55.558. Then we get to see Sergio Perez in 12th at 55.716. Carlos Sainz is 13th at 55.757. Kimi Raikkonen 14th on a 55.783. Antonio Giovinazzi 15th at 55.858. Followed by Lando Norris at 56.078. Kevin Magnussen is 17th at 56.130. Nicholas Latifi is in 18th at 56.764. Pietro Fittipaldi is 19th at 57.077. And Jack Aitken is last on a 57.187. On to free practice 2, and he's done it again. The British Norfolk lad of George Russell goes top. Oh, 54.713. 0.6 faster than Bottas. 0.6. And Bottas failing to get into the top 3 as well after having his fastest lap time deleted for going off the track at turn 8. Unbelievable from Bottas. Fantastic job from George Russell going forward as well. Second place was Verstappen, Perez third, Ocon fourth, Albon rounding out top 5, all separated by 0.3 of a second. Fantastic time as well. Loads of drivers having lap times deleted. Sebastian Vettel decided to go rallying, skidding off the track in the path of Kevin Magnussen. Luckily, there was no contact. However, everybody was really on edge and pushing to the limits in free practice 2. We saw more mistakes than in FP1, which could result in some problems. Track limits were watched at turn 8, so that was the focus point as everybody ran wide. The Mercedes of Bottas, Russell, Ferraris ran wide, Red Bulls ran wide, even Latifi ran wide, and Aitken all running off the track as well. It was really bad down at turn 8. Bottas was 11th with Raikkonen and Giovinazzi just behind. Terrible news for Bottas. Had his lap time deleted and could only go on the hard tyre for the remainder of the session as well. But there wasn't many issues apart from two. Charles Leclerc being kept in the garage throughout the session as well. A drive shaft issue has kept him out after just 2 laps. And for Lando Norris, running over a curb, damaging his floor early on, he was kept in the garage as well going forward. An impressive opening day then for George Russell. He is fastest overall. Let's take a look at the times from FP2. George Russell tops practice 2 at 54.713. Max Verstappen once again in second at 54.841. Sergio Perez is third at 54.866. Esteban Ocon is fourth at 54.940. Alexander Albon is fifth at 55.036. Danny Kvyat is sixth at 55.068. Lance Stroll is seventh at 55.104. Daniel Ricciardo is 8th at 55.124. Pierre Gasly 9th at 55.133. And Carlos Sainz rounds out the top 10 at 55.258. Valtteri Bottas in 11th place at 55.321, followed by Kimi Raikkonen in 12th at 55.484. Antonio Giovinazzi is in 13th at 55.533. Kevin Magnussen 14th at 55.738. Nicholas Latifi is 15th at 55.784. Sebastian Vettel is 16th at 55.830. Lando Norris is 17th at 56.031. Pietro Fittipaldi 18th at 56.110. Jack Aitken is 19th at 56.260. And Charles Leclerc setting no time but completing 2 laps in his Ferrari. We will be back for the third practice session on Saturday at 1:50 p.m. UK time. Qualifying underway at 4:45 p.m. UK time. And the main race on Sunday, you can join us from 4:30 p.m. in the afternoon, obviously, for the race build-up. The commentary starts at 5 o'clock with all in the commentary box and lights out at 5:10 UK time. And don't forget about next weekend in Abu Dhabi, the last race of the year. We'll have hopefully some special guests joining us as well. It's going to be exciting, it's going to be dramatic, because George Russell, on his very first day for Mercedes, has swept the board. He's top dog. Can Valtteri bite back? Join us tomorrow for Super Saturday. Bye for now.